make a motion to approve tonight's agenda and the regular board minutes from the June 16th meeting.
I'll second.
Okay, I had a motion from Heather and a second from Marcia to approve the agenda and the minutes for the board meeting, the June 16th board meeting. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, we will move on to the swearing in of our new board of directors, which is Kayla and Sharon. So you'll repeat after me, I guess. So you guys have your paper in front of you?
I'll read it.
Okay, so you need to, I, and then state your name.
Sharon Nelson.
So
Kayla Pritchett. I, Kayla Pritchett.
being duly sworn,
Being duly sworn.
will support the Constitution
Will support the Constitution.
and the laws of the United States and the state of Oregon,
And the laws of the United States and the state of Oregon.
and will discharge the duties of the school district
And will discharge the duties of the school district
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, and then I think you sign your paper, right?
Yes. You can do
Sign
that.
it.
Sure, Julie gets a
And then
copy of
Julie
that.
needs that paper.
Welcome. Congratulations.
You'll have to remember that, we're going to ask you to repeat it the next meeting without,
I don't know, shouldn't they have raised their hand or something?
I think
I agree.
I thought that I did that, but
I don't think it's,
I don't think we're breaking the law if we don't think we're good.
all right, let's move on to 2.1, elect a board chair.
I'd like to make a motion.
go ahead, somebody say something?
Yes.
Heather has a
I'd
motion.
like to make a motion to elect Marcia Frost as our board chair for the upcoming school year, 25-26.
Do I have a second?
Were you going to say something?
I don't think we need a second, we just need,
Oh,
if there's any
okay.
other.
Are there any other nominations?
Yes. I would like to keep our board chair that we have.
Do you think that's a good idea, Steve? I'm not sure that it is. I don't know if I'm supposed to say
Do
anything.
you not want it?
I'm just saying I've done it for 2 years. Maybe it's good for the board to have change. That's all I'm saying, that I want you to think about.
Okay.
Do we need seconds on
If
this?
nobody seconds it, then Marcia.
We don't need
No,
seconds?
We don't need seconds,
somebody
we
just
just-
have to nominate.
You just nominate, we don't need a second nominations, and then you do a vote. Unless,
What about
but if you
Luke?
don't have, I'm just texting Luke
Oh,
on my,
okay.
I have my iPad too, so
Oh,
we could-
okay.
if he needs to communicate.
He just unmuted. There.
Okay,
Yeah,
oh, good.
He's there.
Okay, yeah, muted.
Okay. All in favor for,
Do
do
you
I
want
just
us-
vote, or what do we do?
Yeah, how do you want us to do it? Do you want us to write them down? Do you want us just to, because if we all vote, or like, to split, how do you?
We need to do the vote, so we would call a vote for
This is a public
Marcia and see if we have four
Four?
board
Okay.
members that confirm that, and then we would vote for.
Yeah, because
Melinda
if we
and see
just, we
have
can't have to
four
do a
board-
vote, not an all in favor, right?
If we have two,
So do we just go down the line and everyone vote?
Yes.
Okay.
so start with Steve.
Steve? Who's your vote?
The one I,
Okay.
Okay.
Sharon?
Melinda.
Kayla? Heather?
Marcia.
Marcia?
Melinda.
Luke? Do I have to vote? Okay. Well, I'll vote for myself, I guess.
Okay.
Because
Okay,
it's already decided.
Okay.
But I'm going to say, next year someone else has to do it. I think next year we should have someone else.
I'd just like to say one thing. I just appreciate all the time that you have put in the last couple of months with negotiation, mediation. It's time that we can't do, people that work. And I just appreciate you, your husband and your kids for allowing you to put the time in here. I mean, 8 hours a day here at the district office, might as well be an employee. So, but
not being an employee.
thank you for all you've done for us.
You're welcome.
so now
But
we
again,
elect the vice
one more year. That's it. Someone else has to do it.
That's it.
I feel like I've had a target on my back for 2 years. So. And the time. And I don't begrudge the time. I don't. I don't. Though I would, I don't know, Wayne might actually burn me out, so I don't know. I would like to be able to have time for something besides school board sometimes. All right, we need to elect a vice chair. Do we have any nominations?
Marcia?
I'd nominate Marcia.
Okay, any other nominations? All right, do we call a vote then? Can we just say all in favor since there's one nomination? All in favor? Aye.
Lucas?
Lucas?
Thank
okay.
you.
Well, doesn't seem like anyone's opposed. So let's move on to establishing a set day for regular board meetings each month. I like the second Wednesday of the month, but I'm
It's
I'm
been that
flexible.
way for 20-some years. I like it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
That works for,
Okay, thank
But I'm
you.
subject to change, so whatever.
Can I add something, Madam Chair?
Didn't we have it as the third Wednesday?
It was the third for a
Yeah,
while,
and we had
and
that
it
way for
got
20
moved to
years.
the
It got moved
second.
within the last couple of years, once.
Yeah, it used to
Yeah.
be Mondays.
oh, it did used to be
It was
Mondays?
In the
Mondays,
beginning,
yeah.
it was Monday.
Hasn't been
A
for
long
20 years.
And then it moved
And
to
Moved to
Wednesday.
Wednesdays, third Wednesday.
And we
Wednesday
had
is
to change it in order because
Probably easier than
something
Rachel,
happened
yes.
with our financials.
Wednesdays are usually the best.
For sure.
As long as
Support.
it's not same
Would
conflict
any-
with city
Yes.
council.
Are they on
Monday is
Wednesdays?
when we
Monday's
changed
city
from Mondays
council.
Because we were conflicting with the city.
I'm open to anything. If you guys want to change it, I'm okay with it.
But I don't see any reason why we need to change it, as long as it works.
Does it work for you, Kayla?
As long as it stays at a Wednesday, not a Tuesday, it works for me.
Okay,
Okay.
well, we won't,
Then that makes it easy.
So second Wednesday.
So second Wednesday?
second Wednesday of the month.
I have a question for everyone. Is there anybody who would be interested in having just a Chromebook instead of paper? And being able to go through instead of having it printed out, or would prefer a Chromebook instead of paper? I can keep it going like it is. I would just, if anybody would like to do that. You don't look very excited, so.
I prefer paper to
I'm
take
good with
pictures.
paper.
All right, we'll
I'm
sit.
indifferent.
Paper it is.
Yeah. Can you ask Luke to mute himself?
Yeah,
If we mute him, he can't hear.
I pushed the mute button.
But I think he can.
he needs to do
You
it.
have to
He has
unmute him,
needs to
unmute
do
him.
it.
I'll text him.
All right, so in the past few years, we have not had a board meeting in August or December. Do we want to continue doing that?
Yes.
Works.
I like
I would
that.
agree.
Very much. All right, let's move on to appoint members of standing committees.
Do we need to approve that? Do we need a motion on that under discussion action items, since it's under that? Do you
we're
need a
gonna
motion?
We probably
this-
do need to approve all of,
This at some
We
point.
can just do it at the end?
Yes.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna, you're not
That
touching on
works.
all these, you're just gonna touch on a couple?
well, we can go through all of them so we know what they are. But,
And then vote.
and then,
Okay.
so, do we need 3 members on each committee?
We can only have we don't need to have 3, but the
Okay.
maximum we can have on each
Committee
committee
is
would
three.
be
Is
3,
three.
unless the board, because when we were doing the bond, the board made the decision that everybody wanted to be on facilities, so then we just made those work sessions. So if there's more than 3, we can bring these up as work session meetings, but 3 is not a quorum, so we can have a
Okay.
max of 3 to be able to be a committee.
So who would like to be on the facilities committee?
I'm on the facilities committee, I'll stay on the facilities committee.
Okay.
Anyone
I think
else?
Cliff was on there
Yeah,
as
Cliff
well, so we
and
need-
Steve, I think.
Steve's like, no, I don't want on any.
I don't mind.
Okay,
We
Sharon?
need
Mind
to
it all.
move Steve over here.
Yeah, we need to move
He
you,
can't hear.
I'm going to stay on the facilities.
or we're gonna,
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't bring my hearing aids, sorry. Speak up a little bit.
So who
Okay,
do
so
we
we have
have?
Heather, Sharon, and Steve on facilities. Policy committee currently is Melinda, Marcia, and Luke. Is there,
I'll stay on policy committee.
I'll stay.
I don't mind policy, I don't mind staying
Okay.
on policy.
thank you.
perfect. Last year it was brought up about wanting to revamp or redo the superintendent evaluation. I don't know if that's something that the board wants to take up or not. But that was something that was a conversation. So if there's 3 of you that want to do that, or if nobody's interested, we do have a evaluation process currently in place.
I think maybe we should just keep it the way it is for the first year, so we all know what's happening. And then maybe after these people have been on for a year, we can change it. I think that'd be better for us, personally. What kind of a new format were they going to? Something OSBA came up with?
OSBA has some different suggestions for that, for superintendent evaluations. And I'm sure there's some other outside independent agencies that we could look at as well. But that was something that was brought up last year, and then it was not something that we implemented for this year. Only thing that I would ask is, what if we're going to change it, I just want to know what we're going to change it to, so that I have an idea of what the bar is, so to speak.
I just felt that your evaluation, it's currently the way we do it, does not give you very clear guidelines as to what hits the mark and what doesn't. So for you, I think it would be nice if you had better, clear guidelines. That was why I wanted to do some changing to it myself.
So if we have this committee, would it just be 3 board members, or would we have, because like all these other committees, like policy committee, there's more people on that committee than just board members, you know, there's.
I think that would.
So I think it would be good to
The
have,
board want to do.
We would have.
maybe have, I don't know, who we would have on, like some administrators, or I don't know how to do it, how we would set up. I think if we were going to do this, we would need to be really clear about how we set this up.
Yeah.
Well, then, if OSBA is suggesting that there are some new guidelines for superintendent evaluations, I would guess that they have multiple stakeholders involved in that selection or in that committee. So you'd look at a community member, you'd look at someone from not just within the school district. So maybe we look at what their guideline is before we move forward.
Take the lead from them.
Yeah, I have not had a chance
Yeah.
to see what they're suggesting.
I haven't read it either. I
Can we
know
that
they
at our
have
next board
something.
meeting? Can we have a copy of what they're proposing that we change to? for the
Do we need to
evaluation?
decide whether or not we're having an evaluation committee?
Yeah, I think we need to.
At this
we
point,
need
like
to-
now, we need to decide whether we want an
I
evaluation committee.
think, and then the committee then like could bring something at the September board meeting. We could bring the OSBA guidelines, yeah.
So is the committee being established just to decide whether that needs a change or not? Or is it to implement a change?
Maybe we-
in how that's
Yeah.
evaluated?
That's where
Or
Well,
maybe we need to do like we
it
did with the
probably-
bond and do a work session instead so that we can all discuss it and look and see what's on there.
We could definitely we could do that. That's
I
not
think
bad.
those are really good options, and I do think it's going to be hard to have it all in place for, like Steve was saying, like, I don't know that we can have it all ready when he's starting today, right? Like, you know,
Right.
we don't-
No, I know,
So
but
this would be
expectation.
us
I think that this
preparing.
is
So
just
this
us
would, this would be
preparing.
giving us a year
So I don't
to
think
make
a work session
changes.
would be bad, because then we can look and talk about it, and we can all be there to look and review whatever it is that OSBA has and whatever else is out there.
Well, Julie, could you maybe find it online and share that link with us? Let us take a
Oh,
look
yeah.
at it online.
Yeah,
We can
and-
do a little homework.
Before the September, I can do it in August and get it to you guys,
Kind of give us an
or
idea.
even sooner.
So then it sounds like, yes, we are voting for a superintendent committee, and we're all going to be on that committee, the evaluation process.
And we'll do that work session before the September board meeting. Well, that way we have time before to actually look at that information and discuss.
Do the work session.
You
Do
mean
the
it-
work session
Before the meeting.
Like
September-
Like at 5 o'clock.
I get you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think
But
the
that-
work session is very important for all of us to have an understanding instead of just have 3 of the 7 kind of know what's going on. I think it would be very helpful for all of us to do this in a work session.
Okay, work session at 5 September, got it. Thank you.
Okay, OSBA conference, so is this, we're deciding if we're going? Is that
Yes.
what this is?
And who wants to attend each or not attend each so that we can start making sure we have all the arrangements?
I can tell you right now that I cannot commit to the annual convention because we were at state last year for volleyball, and it's Lily's senior year. I'm not comfortable saying, yeah, I'm going to go, and then
Does that make sense?
I'm definitely not going if they're going.
That makes
I
sense.
thought we decided for this year we were going to the August one because it was cheaper and
Yeah, and that's
lots of
one.
reasons
I can't
why.
go to the August one.
The
I'm
August
out of
one
town.
is cheaper because it's in Salem versus being in downtown Portland.
And I have the agenda, which I was gonna bring it down for the August, one already.
And I would really like to propose that we just not do the November meeting. We have budget cuts, and that's very, very expensive. I'm sure it's well over 10 grand to send us up there. I just think we should need to bypass it for a year and just do the summer convention and see what they have the following year.
I think I
agree.
mentioned that last year, but we ended up going anyway.
So I think it would be, I totally agree with that. And to me, part of the importance of that convention was just for all the board members to be together. And I'm wondering if we could do something different that is not a multiple day thing, like an evening or
Like
something.
a retreat or something.
And I don't even care if it's a retreat, but whether we have
Like an
some
OSBA
an OSBA person come to train or something. I don't know. We have 2 new board members, and though I know Sharon's been to more board meetings than I've been to.
Different capacity though.
But we have, and we have board members who haven't had training. That's just, and I still feel like I'm a newbie at the board, even though I've been on for 4 years. It's just like every year I've learned a little bit more. So I don't know. I would rather do something like that that's much cheaper and
And they
not so
also have the
much
one
time.
in Coos Bay, don't they, at ESD, right before the annual convention?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
the road show, right?
Yeah,
The legislative.
Yep, they have the road show.
But they don't talk about school board. That's just more like, this is the,
New
These are the
these are the
laws, here's
legislature,
the new-
just like what's
yeah.
happening in the legislature right now, kind of stuff. I don't know.
There is some required training that does need to happen, so being able to, for Kayla and Sharon, being able to go to that summer conference would check that box for the 2 of you as far as doing new board member training that is required. So I don't know if those dates work for you or not, but there is some training at that conference for new board members that I think would be beneficial for the 2 of you.
And you said that's in Salem?
That is it's in Salem at the convention center. And what we've researched so far, prices were substantially cheaper in Salem versus what they were in Portland.
Yes.
So I don't know if you can commit to that tonight, but if you can, then obviously we'll make sure that
July
we're
7th
making
is my
the link.
deadline, so,
I'll make it
Okay.
work.
I can commit to that.
okay.
Sharon?
So we're looking at just the 2 of them going in August, and that's it.
I thought
Yeah, Marcia
were
was,
you-
I think, was
you-
wanting to
I thought you
go.
were interested in going. No? Did I-
Yeah, I totally, yeah.
Yep, okay.
If you want to go, go.
I would
can't
like
go.
to drive up Thursday, be there Friday, and leave Saturday after the conference. Even though I'll get home late, I don't want to stay the night.
I think we looked at the agenda.
We did, at one of our last
Yes,
executive
the
sessions,
policy
and yeah.
for- yeah.
Yep, that's what
And it looked like we could easily,
Yep, I think 3 o'clock is the last
and not have to
one.
stay till
Yep.
Sunday, and be
Yeah.
able to get home at a
What about
reasonable
Luke?
level.
So if I
See?
think I heard the
I'll
board,
text him.
so Sharon,
Oh, no,
Kayla,
he
and
told me
Marcia
this.
would go to summer conference, and then we'll skip the annual conference and look for some kind of OSBA training that we could do an evening in maybe December, early December or something
December?
like that. Or do you
Would
want to do it
Sometime,
in
well,
November?
sometime this year we'll do one.
Okay, sometime, so we'll skip the annual convention and we'll do an OSBA training and we'll set the date. We don't need to know, okay, don't need to know a date on that yet. Okay? I think those were the things to really discussion. The rest of those items are pretty much either reauthorization, appointing, or
Say something about this?
changing and adding our new business manager, so.
Does anyone have any questions about between 2.7 and 2.21? But before we get any motions.
Julie, you need a motion for all these items? Do you need me to specify what we've?
You could just, yeah, let's specify the board chair,
First few.
vice chair.
Okay, so I'll make a motion for items 2.1, Melinda Millett, 2.2, Marcia Frost, our set regular board meetings for the second Wednesday of each month, no scheduled August or December regular board meetings, current facility members, Heather, Sharon, and Steve, policy, Melinda, Marcia, and Luke. Sounds like we're all going to be on the superintendent evaluation committee meeting, so we'll be holding work sessions for that. The summer conference for Marcia, Kayla, and Sharon, and no attendance at the annual convention, and everything else as noted.
Thank you. And Luke just answered he will not be available for August, so that's taken care of.
Okay, I had a motion by Heather. I don't have to repeat all of that, do I?
No.
To approve 2.1 through 2.21 with all of the details that she gave, and a second by Marcia. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, fiscal director's report. Denise, I believe you have some things to share with us.
Yes. Okay, so for our ending fund balance, I am projecting, and this has majority, June says estimate on it, but there is a majority of it that is up to date, especially on the revenue piece. There may be a few changes, but for the most part, it is pretty solid right now. We are going to end up with $2,029,423. We did have to move some projects that were slated to be done in 24-25 school year. We did have to move them into 25-26. That's why we did go above what I said that we would have for our beginning fund balance. So that's the reason for that, is because of the projects. So does anybody have questions on the financials?
What were the projects?
We had, they are on your agenda for under the discussion action items.
5.0.
5.0.
We were planning to purchase a new maintenance truck, not brand new, but new to us. And then we were also planning to install the ventilation system at Winter Lakes High School for the dishwasher. Remember, our kitchen there has never been yet fully operational because the dishwasher doesn't vent. And then we also wanted to do an electrical project. When the hospital donated a convection oven to our high school, but we need to get that oven connected, and that electrical, we're estimating that to be not to exceed 10,000.
The convection oven for what, our like foods program or something?
What's that?
Our convection oven for like our foods program?
Yes,
or for
no,
our cafeteria?
that'll be in the actual high school cafeteria at CHS. Yeah, CHS with that production kitchen, with them providing the meals for both the junior high and the high school, as well as Winter Lakes Elementary, Winter Lakes High School, Powers Elementary, and Powers High School.
Mm-hmm.
Those numbers have all went up, and we're feeding a lot of kids. I don't know if you want any further clarification. I would defer
No,
to
but
Marcia.
the resolution 26-01, what is that? Is that one of the ones you just said?
No. That is,
Something different?
yeah, and it's in your packet.
Wait, which? Oh, is this what Denise was going to talk about?
No.
No.
This resolution is adding Denise as an authorized signer as our business manager, and then deleting Rachel Amos. So you'll see that we're adding Denise as business manager.
Oh, so that's not one of the projects that you were
No.
talking
No.
about?
No.
No, it
Just
was
a
just part of,
resolution.
Okay.
part of
Just
that.
In
Yeah.
that section.
Okay.
Right. And then, and also another thing, for the 25-26 budget, we do need to do a supplemental budget. As approved by the board last month, we did switch for paid leave Oregon, paid family medical leave, to a third-party administrator to make the process a little bit smoother for our employees and also for us here, so that we, the state is basically saying that we now have to do federal taxes and all of that stuff for the employees, that we do actually have to report that on our W-2s for employees. So switching to a third-party administrator, we can have an employee whole for their W-2. So they're not gonna get a W-2 from us and then a 1099 from the state and so on and so forth. So it will make it a smoother process for employees on an annual basis, but then also make it a little bit smoother for them because they will be handling the claims with the employees with input from the district. So in that being said, we need to do a supplemental budget because we have to open up a new fund number, and it's Fund 600 that we do need to open up so that that money can flow through that account, because it is for a set purpose only. That is a service for our employees.
So it's not an increase or a decrease to the budget, it's
No.
just opening up a new
It's just
fund.
opening up a new fund, so the money going, that would normally go into a Fund 100 is now going to go into the 600, because we will be paying directly to the third-party administrator, and that's where it will flow through. So we need to do that. And so our suggestion is, because we do need to have this done before July's payroll, is if we could meet sometime on July 21st at 9 in the morning. We would need to have 4 board members here.
Can you do it by
present.
phone or Zoom?
What day of the week
No,
is
but
that?
we have to have a hearing because it is a supplemental
so you have
budget.
to have an open-
Because yes. So I do have to advertise in the newspaper for it. So July 21st. And if we could just, we
What day
just
of the
need
week is
4
that?
board
Monday.
members.
Yeah, Mondays are, I have a standing call every Monday morning, so I can't do a Monday.
Is it evening?
I could do it Monday morning, the 21st.
You can do it.
Is there anyone else who
Is
could?
there anyone else that could?
I don't know if I could do morning.
That's the week of the.
That's fair week.
If that's fair
and-
week, we're loading animals at 7 in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, horses will already be there, but
Not
I
cows and
I
pigs.
can't do morning, but I can do afternoon or evening. if
On
we-
the
I can make it.
On the 21st,
Even though
yeah.
it's fair week?
You could make it?
Yeah, I could cruise.
I can make it work.
I can't do morning, but
Lucas, would you be able to make it work?
On the 21st
Yeah,
in the morning.
yes.
I am not working that day, so
I could do it on a Tuesday if you need a 4th, but I can't do it on a Monday.
So we have 3 board members that could make it, Lucas, Kayla, and Melinda.
So Heather, what time would,
My call is at 8 o'clock, and it's usually not done until 9:30. And the day that I say that it's gonna be done by 9 is the day that I'm gonna be.
it'll be done later than
That
that.
is true.
Uh-huh.
We can do it a little bit later.
So what
We
time
can-
would work for
We
you,
could do it at 10. Kayla, could you do
I
10?
mean, this should take literally a few minutes.
It's not gonna take very long.
Yeah, but it's just.
Marcia, I thought you couldn't do it, that was fair.
I can't do
I know.
morning.
So
Because
what time
Kippy's
would you-
showing Monday and Tuesday morning. I don't know what time. Could be
Okay.
9, could be 10, could be 11.
Could it be 2?
But I can do probably anything.
Well, I could do any time on Monday, yeah, it's not,
Could
it's
you
just,
do-
that's my
4 or
standing
5
call
would
in the
be
morning.
better for me.
Could you do 10 then, Heather? Would that
Yeah,
give you
yeah,
enough?
yeah.
So if we just
Okay,
shifted
we
it
can do
to
10.
10.
Happy day. Then I don't, yeah.
Sounds like
Yeah, then you
Lucas
have to
doesn't
go.
work that morning.
Sounds good.
Kayla, could you make 10 work?
Or is that harder for you?
Or is that harder?
Because
for
you have to be to work.
Oh, I don't, that's also a fair day for us, so
Oh.
it,
Oh.
it's fine. I'll make it work.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Does it have to be on Monday, the 21st? It can't be on Thursday or Friday before?
Unfortunately, I have
Yeah, it's so
a
many days.
business conference
Oh,
that
I
I
see.
have to be at, and that's Wayne's first day back. That's the reason why.
And then the
Okay.
posting.
And the posting for the public, I have to post it in the
We're
paper.
limited with the World now with only being out
Gotcha.
Tuesday, one day a week, and then
One
we
day a
have to
week.
have it into them by Monday the previous week, so it makes it hard.
So if Heather can make it, Kayla can make it, Melinda and Luke, that gives us the 4 board members, and then I guess it would depend on, yeah, maybe you find out when Kippy shows between there. I don't know. Steve doesn't know what his work day may be, maybe it works. But if we have 4 that can do it, then that's enough for us to move forward.
out.
Let me
Okay.
find out if we could call in too. I'll
Yeah.
double check that and see if that might make it
Is available.
easier.
So do you want me to put it for 10 and hold
Yeah,
that?
put it for
Yeah.
10.
Okay, so 10 o'clock on the 21st of July, we'll have our supplemental budget hearing and then board vote to
And
add
if
that.
somebody fails to make it for some reason, give me a call, because I'm going through here with a loaded truck, so I can.
We don't know if we can do it by
I
call.
can do the meeting.
Okay.
No, he
All
said
right,
if
10
he
o'clock.
meant
If it
if
can
somebody
be called to
can't
come
make
in.
it, he can try
Okay,
to.
thank you, Steve.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Denise?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, then we'll turn 4.0 over to our superintendent's report.
As far as emails or correspondence since our last meeting, which I know was a short time ago, we have not received any. As far as legislative update, last board meeting, I talked about Senate Bill 141. That has been signed into law by the governor, and we're now waiting for interpretation by the Oregon Department of Education. We received notice today that federal funding for some major federal programs is currently put on hold. There's been an emergency statewide superintendent meeting called for tomorrow, so I am going to attend that Zoom meeting and have some more information on that. Really concerned about what this might mean for our federal funding, and that is for this school year. I know I explained before that the budget that's currently going on in Washington DC is the 26th budget. And I know you've probably all saw in the news, there's a lot of controversy regarding that budget, but that is for this next school year. That money is currently being put on hold through the federal government. And that is really concerning as far as how that could affect our district. So I am going to attend that statewide superintendent Zoom meeting tomorrow.
Would that be
And-
all of our federal funding or just part of it? Because I mean, I read the article, but I wasn't sure
Yeah.
where we get our money from.
So it was all of Title II, and Title II is money that we get. It did not include Title I-A, but it did include Title I-C, and it did include Title IV, which is a spot where we get money. So,
Okay.
but until I hear, I just want to make sure that the board is aware, because as you're hearing things on the news, I am going to attend that meeting, and I'll try to push a communication out after that to all the board members in an email as far as what the latest information is. Just, you know, money is being put on hold because the mantra is they're trying to look for fraud, waste, and abuse, and so all money is being put on hold coming out of the federal government. Could just be that, it's just a short time hold, but there is money on that list that would affect us if we do not get that money for this next school year. I was feeling like we were gonna be okay for 2025, but 2026 was really when we were nervous. This latest funds being put on hold changes that.
So you're going to try to send us out? a
Yes, I will
correspondence
send
there.
something out tomorrow.
Are you going to send
afternoon.
us anything in August since we're not having a meeting on any updates? Just
I
to,
update the board, yep, I will update the board.
just, you know, how
as
we
go
did that
every other
monthly,
week. Mhm.
whatever?
Yep. And then I also wanted to let the board know, I know you approved our summer projects list, but summer projects are happening around the district. I had a chance to walk around and look at some of those today. Our daycare has been completely repainted, and that looks fabulous. Believe it or not, our 30-month-olds are pretty hard on walls and things like that in daycare, so having a fresh coat of paint, it looks really, really nice. At CVE, we've got walls that have been framed up in our old home ec classroom, where we're going to make the new staff room for teachers and staff there at CVE. At CHS, some of you have probably noticed the big black tarps around the building. We have removed all of the glass block and the windows and that asbestos that was part of that. And then at Winter Lakes Elementary, we're all moved into our new office, our security doors, our buzz-in, buzz-out system, all of that is up and working. So lots of things are happening around the district, and if any of you would like at some point, feel free to stop by and I'd be happy to give you a tour. We will have a tour lined up in the fall as well, so everybody can see all the updates and new projects that we did over the summer. That's all I have.
All right, let's move on to 5.0.
I'll make a motion to approve discussion action items 5.1 through 5.5.
Second.
A motion by Heather and a second by Marcia to approve 5.1 through 5.5. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, move on to our consent agenda 6.0.
Motion to approve consent agenda items 6.1 through 6.9.
I'll second.
Okay, a motion by Heather and a second by Marcia to approve 6.1 through 6.9. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we'll move to staff and public comment. Is there any staff or public comment? I would read the thing, but I didn't think there was going to be any. So. All right.
I was ready with my.
Let's adjourn the meeting.